A no-kill but instructive turkey hunt. William Hovey Smith, 2016. I'm the author of Backyard Deer Hunting, but in this instance, no animals were harmed making this video.
This is a reasonable day for filming, so I'm going to take you with me on this turkey hunt. Now I'm in, of course, my yard, and I mentioned in a previous video that we turkey hunters carry junk with us. Well, look at all this stuff. Yeah. Well, wait a minute. You don't need to haul any more junk in the woods than I've got. And you certainly don't need pounds of shot and powder. Okay? Well, now the general strategy is that it is now approaching 10 o'clock in the morning. It's been an overcast day, but the turkeys now should be down on the ground. Now my turkeys, once they get down on the ground, they start servicing their hens, and they don't say anything usually while they're in the process of doing this. They're busy, in other words. So I like to get back in there, so I'm at the place I want to be in about an hour from now, at about 11 o'clock. So what I'm going to do is to go down my path there slowly, sit down periodically and just look and listen. I may do a few locator calls, but I'm not going to do a lot of loud, raucous calling right now. Yesterday, for example, maybe I called 10 times all day. I don't want to get them used to my calls. In fact, next time I'll actually change up and use a different set of calls that I'm using right now. So we've got our gear. We've got our thermocell because the mosquitoes are starting to be active. I've got a hood on this little cover that I'll be carrying, which is a somewhat mosquito proof. I've got gloves that I'll be putting on when I set up. Got gun. We're all ready to go. So let's go out there and see if we can find some turkeys.
This thick, vine-filled burn. Most people would not consider this wild game habitat, but they are absolutely wrong. This is excellent nesting habitat for wild turkeys. It gives them plenty of place to hide. There's a lot of down, rotted timber in here. And this provides nice, big, juicy grubs. They can get in here when the tree gets rotten and actually dig out these grubs that are, soft and more than 1 inch long and, really, really good tasting to them. And so this is an ideal place for them to nest. So I have hens nesting in this area that is within, 200 yards of my house. So we're in excellent turkey habitat right now. I've even shot turkeys in my yard in past years, for example. I've shot turkeys right where I'm standing. So yeah, anywhere out in here, one can see and find turkeys on occasion. But right now, I suspect they're all down closer to the pond. Although right now it's wet, there's plenty of water around. There's water in the cups of these dead leaves and little puddles, not big ones, but little ones. So they don't have to really move very far to get anything they need. But right now, they're looking for toms to breed them. So let's go see if we can find some. This is an area on a ridge crest where turkeys very, very commonly cross. And I have heard a hen turkey call in that direction there. The toms typically roost in the bigger timber behind me. So what I'm going to do is set my decoys on this ridge, right the crest of the ridge, so they'll be visible from both sides, and start a little gentle calling and see if we can pull some toms in. But basically this is just a waiting game. Just waiting for them to come through and use one of the areas where they customarily use, and then see if we can get some. Well, here we sit, and there's a fan on a stick out there in the immediate front. And we turn around. And there is my Jake decoy. And a little further up the road there is our seductive hen, partially obscured by that pile of brush. Now where the camera is right now, I'm going to brush up. So to give myself a better hide and put on my face mask and my gloves and get my gun ready to shoot and do a little light calling and see if we can get some turkeys.
We had an interesting and exciting event. I did a little calling here, like this. And a hen over here responded. And that hen was joined by another, and that hen was joined by another, and another. So I had 4 hens talking to me from out in that direction. Now they were intent on going somewhere. And that somewhere apparently is in that direction. So there's another road that intersects their possible travel path. So I'm going to pick up and move along that road. Now I did not see a tom among them, although they might well have been, because I only actually saw 1 hen, although I talked to 4 or 5. And it's likely there is a tom among them, or at least a jake. Now I am not against shooting a jake, by the way. Jakes eat very, very well. The best eating of all the wild turkeys. Yep. So if we have one in range and he happens to be the first one, I will take him. Yeah, I don't have to shoot a long beard every day. So we're going to relocate and go down and see if my theory is correct. Now, of course, they could have also gone down to the pond, which is further away from me, straight there instead of 90 degrees. But when you turkey hunt, you just play the odds and take your best shot and do your setups where you think you have the best chance. And you won't guess right all the time. I certainly don't. So we're going to give that a whirl.
I am ahead of the flock. The turkeys used this area yesterday. I've set out my decoys, and I'm going to set back a little further in the woods, and hopefully we'll have the turkeys come through.
Well, it's noon now, and most Georgia turkey hunters are right now in a restaurant somewhere. Some of them have been up since 3 o'clock in the morning, and they've been hunting, and they were unsuccessful in the morning, and so they pulled out about 11 o'clock in order to get into town and beat the noon lunch crowd. Well, I bring my lunch with me. Not much. Peanut butter sandwich, good bread, seeds and nuts in it. Yeah, I like my seeds and nuts just like the turkey do. And so we're sitting here and waiting, because this interval between about 11 o'clock and 3 o'clock is oftentimes very productive, because the toms have bred their hens now, and the hens are starting to scatter a little bit, and the jakes are starting to move around. And so if you're on a good travel trail like I am, and you think you know there are turkeys out there in front of you, they have not crossed this road in front of me, and I think they're moving this way, although no guarantees, of course. So here I am, content to wait and sit and enjoy my lunch. And incidentally, guess what? I even have my grapes too. Yep. So we're going to feed a little bit whilst we await developments.
I have moved again, as you see. I am now in my built-up stand overlooking my food plot. And we have put out 2 turkey decoys. There's one. And the other. I'm going to wait and see if we can attract anything. Now, I've shot many turkeys out of this field. Most usually what I do when it's not raining is actually set up on the edges. like this, like that edge over there and the edge of the timber, and then call them into me from there. But we're taking advantage of the shelter to keep out of the wet and hopefully keep the gun dry. So if the bit don't shoot, nothing can happen. So we're going to sit here for a couple of hours. We have returned, and no animals were harmed during the filming of this video. Drat! What we managed to do is get everything fairly well wetted, including the gun. So this is going to need to be taken apart and completely dried and put right. I managed to keep the coal fairly dry, and it sounds pretty good yet. And also, of course, our rangefinder. But that's one thing you have to look out for on these hunts and wet weather days, is trying to keep everything dry and make sure you do, in fact, recover everything and dry everything when you get back, particularly if you're black powder hunting like I am. Now, we did make 2 recoveries. We found 2 ponies, these bottles. These are Anheuser-Busch bottles of a small size, which we used to call ponies back in the 1950s. Well, I guess we'll keep them around against the day that we get our beer in little foil packets and mix it with water. And that's the only way it's available. So, enjoy them while you got them. Yep, technology keeps marching on. But now, this is Hovey Smith, reminding you to hunt what you eat and eat what you hunt. Be legal, be ethical, be safe, goodbye, God bless, and see you next time. I also cover turkey hunting in my book, Backyard Deer Hunting. And I have a section on turkeys in crossbow hunting as well. And of course, I mention them again in extreme muzzleloading and have much to say about them in hunting with muzzleloading shotguns and smoothbore muskets. I'm the author of a new series of business books under the Profit brand, the first of which is Ideas for New Businesses, and here's a little blurb about me in the book. Now, 5 hours of turkey hunting produce no turkey, but that's not at all unusual. Usually it takes 8 trips in Georgia to kill a single bird. For more information on my books, blogs, and 499 videos, go to my website, www.hoveysmith.com. Good hunting and good eating from the outdoors. Goodbye and God bless. And look out for video number 500, by the way.